Hey, it's Mike again. Just wanted to go over a new podcast for today. The Ravens are getting ready to play in a little bit, so I got my Ravens jersey on. I usually wear my number 52 jersey for Ray Lewis, but I can't fit in it because I'm still big. So I'm trying to lose some weight, still fasting every day, and dropping like a little bit of pounds, little bit of pounds. But I found this new thing that I might be getting on that a friend of mine did, so I got to talk to my doctor and see if they can do it for me, which they might be able to do. If not, there's another company that will. So we'll figure that out and be able to get back in my Ray Lewis jersey, you know. But right now I got my Nada jersey on, which is number 92. So that's my triple X or whatever, you know. um, so anyway, today I wanted to talk about a couple different things. One is I do have a song for today, so I do have a song that kept repeating over and over and over again in my feed yesterday. So we will go over that, which I'm not sure if I want to go over that first or if I want to go over that second. So, but the song is um, Hoobastank is the band Hoobastank, Hoobastank, and the song is The Reason. So, but I don't know if I'm going to go over that first or not. Let me see. The message today is going to be to live fearless with God. And I say fearless because people in life, pretty much everybody is scared of something. Um, and I think there's some people that are just scared of everything. You know, they're scared of, you know, something as stupid as spiders or bugs or whatever. You got that. But you got, more importantly, you got people scared to, like show their face somewhere because they don't like the way they look. You got people scared to do a video because they're scared about what people are going to say about how they look or how they talk or how they come across to people. And I was there. I used to be like that. I used to not want to be on videos and stuff, but you just gotta, like Nike said, just do it, and you just conquer that. But there are some other things you can do too. But it's also people, people who are, they know they want to work out, but they're scared to go into the gym because of how they look, and they're so overweight or they're so fat, or just out of shape or whatever, and they just feel self conscious about it. I think everybody's self conscious about stuff too, and just about too many things. And I think that's what, if it's funny, because if you watch like commercials on TV and you really just watch commercials for the sake of watching a commercial, you can almost pick what weakness they're trying to prey on, and that's PREY, on you, to tell you you're not good enough, or you're not, your eyes don't look as good as somebody's on TV, so you need to buy this, or something along those lines. And as the nights go further and further into the night, and the later and later it gets, that's when the infomercials start popping up. Because they know that you're really desperate. You're probably sitting up shoving pizza and whatever else you can down your mouth late at night, and they know you're sitting in front of the TV with a bowl of ice cream, and you think you're fat, so they're gonna have an infomercial about weight loss pills and this magical solution that you can just try and all this stuff and just buy it, and it's just it's free, but you pay for shipping and all this stuff, right? So these are all our like insecurities. They're all our negative self-talk, and a lot of people don't want to think about this, but all that stuff comes from fear. It comes from our fears of not being good enough, or not being smart enough, or people not liking me. What was that Saturday Night Live skit? I'm smart enough, and people like me, and gosh darn it, people like me. Something like that. Stuart Smalley, I think that was the guy. Um, I'm smart enough, I'm strong enough, and gosh darn it, people are going to like me. He said that to himself all the time. You can do that. You can tell yourself, good, lines in the morning. Try to be a stronger person, whatever. But this fear, comes from an evil place, and it comes from darkness. And we live in a world full of darkness, the whole world. And, how do I know this? It's because it's literally stated in the Bible of what happens on earth. You know, I just picked one verse to go over here to let you know how things roll on the earth. But before I do that, I wanted to point out a couple more things. You know, darkness and evil is literally everywhere you look. It's in music, it's on TV, it's in the movies, it's in pornography, it's in substance abuse, alcohol and drugs, it's even in clothing, and it's in anything else. A lot of other things that you see on TV that are sold to you through deceptive means. Um, the devil and his demons are literally everywhere, and the devil was a musician. He was a great um, instrument player and loved music as an angel, and was kicked out of heaven and sent down to here as punishment, and was told, you can do what you want to do down there, do whatever you want to do to those people. You can tempt them, you can mess with them, you can do whatever, because you can't follow directions up here, so you can go down there. And here's the deal, you can only go down there as long as I say you can stay down there. And I'm not going to tell you how long it's going to be, but one day I'm going to come back. And I'm going to come and I'm going to judge everybody there. And I'm going to decide who gets to come to my heaven. And all the people that followed my rules, and all the people that stood up to you, and all the people that said no to your temptation, and all the people that were righteous, God fearing people who believed in Jesus and believe in me and follow a life like Christ, you're all going to be saved. And I'm taking all of them. You can have the rest. So good luck. Good luck tempting everybody, because I'm here as their savior. But people down there, they got free will. They can go either way. So it's up to you. You can do your best. Well, that's basically the gist of hell on earth, and the darkness on earth, and the control that's on earth, and how the enemy is here, and the enemy will tempt people. And you don't think he's tempting people with billions and billions of dollars to become evil people, telling them, I'll give you the world, I'll give you whatever you want, I'll let you build $100 million compound in Hawaii, and I'll make sure you get the money, I'll make sure you get whatever you need. You don't think he's running the scenes and calling the shots? You know? How about these people that own NFL teams that are billionaires? I'm not calling all of them out, but you think there might be one or two that might be playing for the other team that got their money the wrong way? I don't know. Maybe one of them's gone now. He didn't have a very good reputation, got in an awful lot of trouble from the Washington Commanders, and he's gone now. Maybe that was karma. Or maybe that was God coming in and saying, we're going to change this, because this ain't working no more. Back to what I'm saying here, though, is that his devils and the devil and his demons are literally everywhere. And I'm not just picking on NFL owners, I'm just picking on some wealthy people, some business people, some shrewd business people that are the type of people that will, do whatever they have to do to make a buck. Lay off people at their company first to make stockholders happy, that kind of stuff. It's not the right thing to do. You got to treat your people right. What if you were one of those people instead of that billionaire? But anyway, to the Bible verse that calls this out, with the devil and his demons being everywhere, comes from Peter, 5:8, and it says, "Be alert and of sober mind." Be alert and of sober mind. This is what the Bible says. The Bible wants you to be sober, which means they don't want you to drink alcohol. God doesn't want you to drink alcohol. God doesn't want you to smoke marijuana. God doesn't want you to do cocaine. God doesn't want you to do heroin. God doesn't want you to do anything that's going to alter your state of consciousness. He wants you to be sober. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a lion, like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. It's what he does all day long. He's always looking for someone to devour, or something to devour, and something to, um, be able to destroy or lie to. That's what he does. But, your enemy is him. But it also says he prowls around like a lion. And like a lion doesn't mean he is a lion. That's where the deceiving part comes in. That's where the deception comes in, because he's not a lion. He's like a little kitty cat. But he's a little slick, little sneaky, little tiny little kitty cat. But he's in your ear. He's that voice in your head that tells you you don't look good enough to do this, or you need to buy that, or you need to do this to improve yourself, or you're too fat, you're too ugly. He's the voice in there telling you that. That's all negative. That's all negative self-talk. And what you need to do is you need to learn how to fight back this fear, because all the fear and all that negative stuff comes from the devil himself. And you need to learn how to fight back and take your life back. You must learn how to fearlessly live through God. See, because when you do learn how to live through God, when you fully believe and trust God, there's two verses that I pulled up that are very important here. Two of them. One is Psalms 23:4. It says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." So what that means is, when you love God and you trust God and you believe in God, you have no fear. You have nothing to fear about. You get your confidence. You feel invincible. You feel protected. You feel saved. You feel comforted. You feel like you have your best friend with you, protecting you at all times. So you have absolutely nothing to be scared about. So even when you're in the most scary situation and you're in that valley of the shadow of death, it doesn't matter, because he's there with you. He's got your back. So that's one verse. And the next verse, I'm drinking my coffee, and these ants like coffee, so that's why they're out here. I gotta get my guy to come spray here, as much as I don't want to hurt any animals. These are starting to become a nuisance. But the second verse is Isaiah 54:7. It says, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn." So any weapon that's formed against you will not prosper either. It's important to know that. You're a child of God. And when you're saved and you got God and he's got you and you got Jesus and you got the Holy Spirit, you got all three of them. They're working together to save you from everything and anything, and have no fear. And the other thing is, When you have no fear, not only do you get your confidence back, okay, you get your confidence back, but you also lose everything negative. You lose you lose your anxiety. There's nothing to be anxious about. You lose your stress and things that drive you insane and crazy so you can't sleep at night. You know? You lose your depression a lot of times, because the fear is what's controlling that too. You're scared of something, which is making you depressed or making you give up or making you throw the towel in and just say, I'm done with it. I just want to run away from it, which often leads to drug use and other things to try to numb the pain of that depression, which makes it even worse. Remember, be alert and of sober mind. He wants you to be sober. I don't drink anymore. I don't smoke weed anymore. I don't even smoke cigarettes anymore. I drink coffee. That's the worst thing that I do. And that even probably stimulates me a little bit more than I need to be with caffeine. But bottom line is, he wants you to be sober so you can be on alert all the time. Because once you believe in God, that's when the party starts. That's when the devil really starts coming after you and really starts trying to tempt you and really starts trying to get you, because he knows that when God comes back, you're going to be saved and you're going to heaven, and that's another person he lost, and he wants everybody going to hell with him because that's where he's going to be. He's already lost. That's where he's going to be. Now you can not listen to what I'm saying. You can go do what you want. You can go party it up, go get drunk, go to the party, go smoke weed, get high on the weekends, do whatever you want to do, not hurting anybody, tell yourself whatever rationalization you want to tell yourself. But I'm telling you what the Bible says. And the Bible is basically the rule book. And the rule book says, be of sober mind. Be alert and of sober mind. You can't make it any clearer than that. And the reason I keep harping on that is because I actually was Googling when I was trying to find the right verse for that. I was just Googling, your enemy prowls around like a roaring lion, to find out what the verse was so I could write it down and say it to everybody and let them know that was Peter 5:8. But when I Googled it and then I found that first sentence in there, I was like, man, this is too good not to share this, because I'm all about, I go to Celebrate Recovery. I'm around all kinds of different people in there, from, drug addicts to alcoholics to porn addicts to, you name it, depression, anxiety, everything. And, they can really use something like that. And I'm going to save that for them for next week. And I'm going to talk about, I was doing a podcast and this came up, and I'm actually going to save this paper. I'm going to take it with me to the Celebrate Recovery meeting and bring it up, and talk to them about what I talked about in the podcast so they know. So if they're not watching it, which a lot of them aren't, that's that. So that is how to live fearless with God. All you got to do is be saved again. Just tell him you're sorry. Tell him apologize for the sins that you've committed, and, just believe in him, trust in him, let him flow through you, let the Spirit come to you, and just trust it, believe it, and live your life like Jesus wanted you to. If you don't know exactly what to do, pick up the Bible and start reading it. All the instructions are in there. 10 Commandments are in there. Everything's in there. And it's online too. You can Google, if you know there's 10 Commandments, Google the 10 Commandments and start reading it. Find out what it's about, And then that'll take you to something else, and that'll take you to something else. There's apps. If you don't want to buy a Bible, there's apps that are Bible apps that you can use, that you can see stuff in the Bible and see different verses and what talks about what and all that. And then, there are There are Bible study groups that you can go to as well. If you're around my area, I can recommend a couple to you that I go to. We're always looking for good people to come and sit in Bible study with us and kind of go over some of these verses and talk about things, um, and process things, and then just talk about life in general and how it works. And you learn. Bottom line is, you learn from each other every week. Every time you meet, you learn something new, and you get to meet other people who are God fearing people, who are people who, you know, are the right type of people you want to have in your life, with the right values, who believe in Jesus, who you can feel safe around, who you can share your beliefs with. This is exactly what you're looking for if you want to, be born again and give up your old life and give up your old ways and learn how to do it the right way. That's what you need to do. Okay, so that's enough of that. Now let's talk about the song. So it's Hoobastank the Reason, and I just want to read the lyrics here because this, to me, the song is all about, you know, uh, if you sing the song through the voice of the singer, you're singing to God, and it goes, I'm not a perfect person. There's many things I wish I didn't do, but I continue learning. I never meant to do those things to you. And so I have to say before I go that I just want you to know I found a reason for me to change who I used to be, a reason to start over new, and the reason is you. So that would be God is the reason. I'm sorry that I hurt you. It's something I must live with every day. And the pain I put you through, I wish I could take that all away and be the one who catches all your tears. That's why I need you to hear. I found a reason for me to change who I used to be, a reason to start over new, and the reason is you. And then it repeats a couple times, and then it goes back to, I'm not a perfect person. I never meant to do those things to you. And so I have to say before I go that I just want you to know I found a reason for me to change who I used to be, a reason to start over new, and the reason is you. So he's apologizing to God for the change, for the mistakes that he made, and for making God upset with what he did and who he said and how he reacted. And he's saying he wants to make a change and start over new, and the reason is because of God. Pretty good song. Um, Pretty good song. And it showed up in my feed. Like I said, this is how I get these songs. They show up in my feed while I'm scrolling through for like half hour, 45 minutes or whatever. And they show up like 4 or 5 times. And they just keep showing up. And then I'm like, yep, that's the one he wants me to talk about. Sometimes I don't have any song to talk about because there wasn't any that showed up, or there was a couple that showed up, but it wasn't anything that run a particular chord with what I was going to talk about that day. So hopefully you all can see and learn something from this, that you need to be able to learn how to live fearless in your life with God and be not afraid of anything, especially that devil. You know, you can't let him win. He will take everything from you if you let him. You don't even know what he's doing. He's tempting you and tempting you, and you're taking it and you're taking it, and it's a little bit, it's a little bit, it's a little bit. Like I tell people at their Celebrate Recovery, you go and get high and you feel really good. Well, you know what? You can't feel that good for nothing. There's always a cost. There's always a cost with getting high. And it's not when you're high, it's when you come down. It's when you sober up. When you realize what you did or who you hurt or what car you wrecked or who you killed. You know, stuff like that. Stuff that you don't think about. Because when you get tempted and you do it, you're not thinking from a alert and sober mind. When you get drunk and you get high and you get stoned, You are literally opening a doorway and allowing the devil to walk right into your head and have full control, because you are not in control. You are not alert and sober. You're stoned, you're high, or you're drunk. And that devil is wreaking havoc on you and loving it, loving every minute of it. So just stop, man. There's nothing good that comes from drinking. There's nothing good that comes from getting high. Nothing. It's just a feeling. You're escaping reality because you're hurting somewhere else in your life. And if you don't watch it, it turns into a problem really quick. Then you have all kinds of other problems in your life, which is what the devil wants. But God doesn't want that. He wants you to be alert and sober. Alert and sober. Let the devil prowl around like a lion, thinking he's all big and bad. Just laugh at him and say, no, you ain't getting me. Because that's what I do. No, you ain't getting me. You know what? If you think you're going to get me, you're going to go through God to get to me. Don't, in fact, Mr. Devil, don't even talk to me. Don't even look at me. You want to talk to me? You got to talk to God first. That's how you have to be. All right. So on that note, I think that's good enough to end it. Ravens are getting ready to start. Hopefully we win. It's only a preseason game. But I'm a big football fan, so definitely going to be cheering for them as I'm fasting, even though I want to shove my face full of pizza and wings and everything else. All right. So I love you guys. Take care of each other. God bless. And go Ravens.